Final presidential debate being held tonight in Nashville after what was undoubtedly a first chaotic meeting, if we can even remember back then, of course, with President Donald Trump time and again interrupting Joe Biden, interrupting the moderator, going after both of them. Now the two men will have a new nemesis to contend with, the mute button. Joe Biden says he's in favor of the addition, while Donald Trump is calling it unfair. The mute button, by the way, will only be used for about a third of this debate. Regardless of their feelings on the matter, the Commission on Presidential Debates, the folks who organize these things, has opted to cut off the opposing mic during 2-minute opening statements before each 15-minute segment. All right, CTV's Richard Madan is standing by in Washington with more on this second attempt after a very loud first debate. Richard, what are you going to be watching for tonight?
Well, I think both Joe Biden and Donald Trump are making their closing arguments tonight on why they should be the next president of the United States, if Trump should get a second term, or if Biden deserves the keys to the White House. This is their last opportunity to be on stage together, albeit socially distanced because of the pandemic, and both will have their opportunity to make that case. Obviously, the pressure is more on Donald Trump, with polls showing him trailing not only nationally, but in several key swing states. He needs to turn his campaign around and have a message that resonates with the American people. He is taking the blame for his handling of the coronavirus pandemic. Trump would obviously want to talk about the economy, insisting he is the guy that can bring back an economy that is basically ground to a halt. Biden, meantime, needs to show that he has the temperament, that he has the stamina, that he has the ability to lead at this very dark time in American history and unite a country that is so clearly fractured. Of course, Trump is going to bring up this continuing bubbling up story about the former vice president's son and his emails and what was found on an alleged laptop. It was Hunter Biden, Joe Biden's son, trying to cash in on the family name to generate business opportunities in Russia and China. Of course, will Joe Biden take the bait for that? Unclear. Will he bring up the nepotism of the Trump kids that have cashed in on their father's name? So a lot to look forward to, but ultimately, will both of these men have a competing positive message urging Americans who are undecided, that sliver, small sliver of undecided Americans, to go to the polls and vote for them. So this is a critical moment tonight. But again, the pressure is more so on Trump than Biden.
Yeah, you said something interesting, Richard, about the need for a game changer. And I'm curious, what that might even look like, if we even know. It seems like the Trump campaign is looking for anything and everything. You mentioned Hunter Biden and all sorts of different things, maneuvers to try and change the trajectory in all this.
Yeah, in this final stretch of the campaign is sort of a head scratcher what Donald Trump is seizing on to make things stick. He's attacking Leslie Stahl from 60 Minutes. He's attacking the moderator of tonight's debate, NBC's Kristen Welker. He's attacking the system. He's attacking his opponents. He's upset at his law enforcement cabinet members, whether it's the Attorney General or the head of the FBI. Why haven't they announced investigations into his political opponents to give him that bounce that worked for him with Jim Comey back in 2016 with Hillary Clinton's email? So Trump seeming to be somewhat erratic at this final stretch without really focusing in on the dominant issue of this campaign. And that, of course, is getting a handle on this pandemic.
CTV's Richard Madan, Washington. Thanks, Richard. Good to see you.
You bet.